Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and Britney has told us we're going to war. Plus, the first shots I've seen of Kevin Federline out in the world, and Madonna has spoken up about doing a joint tour with Britney. We got all this to cover in today's first update. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe. Yes, we do a lot of Britney news here, but we got some other news on deck. I'd love for you to join our live shows. We're here daily around 1 o'clock, 1:30 p.m. each day at Eastern Standard Time. But let's get to this news, shall we? So Britney opened up on her Instagram. She shared a story about how the restrictions were put on her while performing in Vegas, but then ended the post talking about how, asking the fans, are we going to war? I want to read this with you first. Here she is showcasing a bikini, a bathing suit, and she looks fantastic as always. But she says here, when I used to do shows, I had to wear 2 layers of tights every night. The one night I cheated and said no and didn't cover my legs, I swear I danced and moved way faster with nothing on them. This bathing suit is actually expensive, kind of looks like a costume, but it's cool to see my legs raw. People don't know this, but when I did Vegas, I was never allowed to go to the spa. They didn't want me having coffee or tea, so my friends from home would show up going to the spas, drinking champagne, no lie, and I was the loser working and entertaining them at night. Doesn't sound like a good deal to me either. So on this beautiful day here in Maui, I'm here to remind them all that being treated like an equal individual doesn't require much, just respect. Psss. Are we going to war? Eye roll. Dude, Britney, are we? Because you have my sword, as they say in Lord of the Rings. What does this mean? Are we going to war? It sure seems like she is. Just when I thought she wasn't going to, she was going to take some silence on sort of everything, she's clearly got a lot to say. She's still got a lot to say. And this is just so terrible to hear that she couldn't even have coffee or tea, or she couldn't go to a spa. You'd think if someone's having a mental breakdown, if they're going crazy, you'd think the spa would be something that they'd encourage you to do. Relax, get your head in order. But no, they wanted to treat her like the workhorse that she was so they could keep getting paid. While all of them were getting paid more money each month than she was when she was the one doing all the work. That's what always blows my mind, is Jamie out there implying that he was a big part and he got all this money because he was doing his job. This dude had no experience doing any of it. She was always doing the work. So I love when she spills the tea and she gets out there, because it only strengthens my desire to want to help. And yes, if we need to go to war with these people who locked you up, we are ready. We are willing. Just say the word and we will go. We ride at dawn. Go Planet! Go Planet! We have you here. We are your soldiers. Britney, let us know. Tell us the truth. Let's get to it, and let's make sure we help. Now, that's the latest we have here. She's been posting some other videos over at working out a lot. Posted a random shot, an old shot of her foot being broken. But she's been enjoying her trip to Maui. What's interesting, though, is I haven't seen Kevin Federline in a while. A lot of you guys have been telling me to update there. I just don't have any news. But here he is with a crazy Grizzly Adams beard and a sweatshirt that says cookies. He looks like some sort of cookie monster here. And he was out playing basketball with some kids that apparently weren't his kids. But I guess he was out keeping a low profile in a black hoodie. He was out there in sweatpants in a parking lot without a face mask. The former dancer also hit an outdoor basketball court with a handful of kids. So there he is out there. I haven't seen him in a while. So there's our first Kevin Federline sighting from the paparazzi. And I don't typically want to get into this, but I'm always fascinated on sort of what is his involvement in all this. When I first sort of got into this case, I sort of gave him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because I figured he was just dumb. And my take of things was that his lawyer was the one who was really doing things. But the more I've moved on, thought about it and learned more about this case, it's kind of impossible to not want to blame him. How could he not know? He's the one who got 70, got her to from 50, he took 50% and then took 70%. He's the one who's helped keep her kids away from her longer. And for what? He's not been the most perfect person either, as you go through all his histories and things. So it's frustrating to see him out and about. He's got a lot of kids. He's got like 2 kids from one marriage, 2 kids from another marriage, and he's got like 6 kids in this house. You'd think he'd want to have joint custody to let Britney see them more often. And that's the one thing that I know Britney wants the most, from what she's sort of said. And when we see her in those documentaries beforehand, just how sad she is to not be able to see her kids. There's a documentary that Jamie meant, that the ego of this family, the Spears family, we're doing like a reality show pitch, and we're like documenting them as they were there, making Britney work. And they've meanwhile tried to scrub that off the internet. But there was always a shot where the kids were there sitting with Jamie, and Britney's on stage performing as always because they keep making her perform. And they're like, we want to see Mama. And he's like, no, she's got to go to work. And it just broke my heart. The limited time she got, they were still like making her work day after day after day, while the kids are like, I just want to see Mama. Stuff depresses me. So when I see Kevin Federline, it's hard to not get more and more angry with him of how did you not step up to help? That said, I don't think he's the brightest bulb. He's being controlled by his own lawyer. I firmly do believe that. I don't think he's, the one who's pulling strings. I think he's like told, shut up, take your money, take the kids, let us do our job. And that way he is, obviously, I think he should be held accountable at some point too. But I also know Britney hasn't called him out. And this is the father of her children. And that's a hard thing to do. So I try to keep my hate of Kevin Federline to myself, but I couldn't resist today as we did a quick update on things to point out that he is out there still working around, and man, he's rocking a big, big beard. Lastly on this video, as we want to get to sort of an update on things, Madonna was asked on Instagram Live about Britney. Now, she's been a huge supporter, supported from day one, always trying to get her free. There have been reports that she was acting behind the scenes. I can't confirm or deny that. But when asked about that, she was asked about sort of working with Britney. She was like, hell yeah. Stadium, baby. Me and Britney. What about that? She acknowledged, though, she was unsure if Spears would be into the idea. But she thought it would be really cool. We could reenact the original Kiss. Now, Britney doesn't need Madonna at this point. Madonna might need Britney. Madonna hasn't done a lot, but it's impossible to not hail the queen of Madonna as well. She's a legend in her own right. I respect Madonna to no end. Some of the best songs ever, honestly. Vogue, Material Girl, and we could go on and on. But the idea of a Britney and Madonna tour, oh my God, that would be insane. It would be insane, but probably too much for Britney to handle right now. I'm sure Britney wants to keep it a little cooler, but nice to see some, big names out there still rallying behind to support Britney. There she was on the Instagram Live talking about it, sending her love to Britney and mentioning that, yeah, wouldn't it be fun? I mean, someone asked her. It wasn't like she was pitching it, but doing a Britney Madonna world tour, that would sell like crazy. But yeah, she was the singer-performer had been waging a war for Spears behind the scenes after end of conservatorship. This was back in November. So she's been she's been there. She's been vocal. It's good to see, and I'm happy to see that. Yeah, plenty of people have been ready to wage a war. So Miss Britney, if you are wanting to activate us, are we going to war? Just say the words, girl. We will be there. We got your back. And it's nice to see you celebrating, looking beautiful out in Maui with your fiance. Bravo to both of you. She is finally free as well. We talked about that a while, but the forms have now been filed. The conservatorship is no more. Britney is free. So happy to hear it. So there's your update. We are going to report about some other news. I hope you'll join us on our other stories, a lot of other important missing person cases, and just news in general. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join us. We'll be live today around 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you guys there. Thanks so much for watching here on Popcorn Planet.